All right, so here we are, fucking Belgrad. Sorry, what the fuck? Yeah. So I've been doing these interviews where about art and stuff. No points. Usually I ask about art and stuff, but this time I think we have other things to talk about.
How do you feel?
You won an award.
Yeah.
Best movie.
So we won an award.
We won an award, but you made the movie. I was just literally I could do anything other than be myself. Hey, Belgrad.
Did a lot in it. I really tried to make it as good as I possibly could. And, to get a prize and get the grand prize at the festival feels very, very nice. Also, it offered a travel opportunity. And traveling to new places is always a phenomenal way to grow and kind of increase your luck and possibilities going further in something like that.
Doesn't this coming to Belgrad, winning the award, does it change your experience or your actual movie?
We might need to
Now that you met other people who are making movies about related topics, people have been discussing your movie with only one word. I wonder, like, every time I see the movie, changes. I have an expectation of how to feel working with one of the videos that we watched the movie.
Well, I mean, it's always, the good thing is because so far, like, the only feedback we've got is from people who are nice to us. So, of course, there's some that are far removed from the people who made the film, for us to think that it's a genuine compliment from the we're getting. But, like, in this case, all the people in the selection hello were completely foreign to the project. Like their enthusiasm is genuine. Something don't have the compliment. It shows this film as something that was representing maybe the feelings of the people who are creating this festival, which does focus on films about people with disabilities, and the founder is himself a person who is in similar circumstances as you. And so the fact that, you know, the way I told you story resonated with him makes me feel real good.
What kind of things are people saying about the movie?
I like there was a fellow Brazilian filmmaker who showed the Brazilian film at the festival. He went to me and said, "Mucho corazón." Like he's got lots of heart. So that was cool. So he really liked it, and the other everybody, yeah, people, you know, they did not laugh as loud as the Icelandic audiences, but they absolutely got the humorous tone and the overall vibe of the film. Self on how much you dare to give for yourself and accept the criticisms and from and the descriptions of your character from the outside, as well as the great self-awareness that you had and you gained through the process of it.
I think in some ways, without knowing it, that was one of the experiments that I was looking into it, just allowing.
Same with me, just scrutinizing someone other than myself. Like that's not like someone family or so. Someone who's in a way a version of myself. We're sharing nothing common. See that. It could be me and be able to just like fairly coldly, just not through try to, with whatever tool we have at our disposal, just like knowing that my kind of standpoint is up. Like as much as neurology doesn't know anything, psychology knows even less. It's just different models to try to describe behavior on people. So with whatever tools I have from my various encounters with different psychology styles or I don't know, spiritual matters and ways to describe the human animal. I try to discover something about people in general and of course about myself through making the documentary. And I think that's what this experiment, this kind of science experiment that we're both doing, I think kept our relationship so good throughout the whole process, because we never had a moment of kind of friction, because I think we knew that there was something for us, for you and I, to gain kind of like knowledge wise by making the film.
Yeah. I think I did welcome kind of the challenge, and it was challenging at times. I kind of got used to the film, filming, like the camera being at different locations, so it became easy to ignore it. But then once you started giving feedback on my life, it became sometimes challenging, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Like,
but I think it's
a mirror. I think that's what a lot of people like avoid, having mirrors that kind of show themselves, which forces them to kind of really confront who they are. Like going through this process of having a movie made about you and about me, knowing like that I'm handing you certain power of interpretation. I think that was a really valuable experience, but also hard in ways that I didn't really realize until I saw the movie, and I had to see it a few times because first time I was in shock over reliving that very difficult part of my life. Second time, the movie became a lot better somehow. Then I was able to watch the movie and not like watch myself going through all of that. Yeah, and I'm grateful that you kind of you didn't go too easy on me. And you're your goal was not to make me look good.
But I mean, it's because you made yourself look very good at first, and I think what happened is when we spent 3 weeks together in Nepal. I mean, been friends for a little while before, but now that we spent so much time, like we have this kind of cabin fever phenomenon that happens that you just kind of start to be irritated by people, and you start to know too well. You start to get their rhythms and just when you manage to see what someone does all day because you're with them all day, it was kind of a facade, this glamorous facade that you had that kind of broke. And so that's the moment where I started just being more confrontational with anyone interviews, which I didn't do at first. I was just really observing and stuff. And as our time in Nepal kept progressing towards the end of the trip, the more I wanted something to happen, and the more I kind of started seeing the chips in your armor. So I decided to like go get more aggressive in it must not have been nice.
Az van rá, hogy jugoszláv
Yeah,
média.
can you come on?
Okay.
Tehát ez még csak nem is
Alright.
Sorry. Gyere, vigyázz a kamerára, ne lépjél rá. Gondolom, most már úgy.
Ja, nem azt szizolgat, jó.
Sorry.
ősi jugoszláv.
I like this part of the
Vigyázzatok a kamerára, majd.
Úgy játsz, ez most
Gyertek arrébb, és
crying baby. Wandering in nature. So, what else can we talk about? Talking about.
You two get to me.
Yeah, I know. I like throwing the ball around, seeing what happens. But so, I'm just curious to know more about like how it felt, kind of being an observer. So for me, this was a really difficult and traumatic period. Both Nepal, then afterwards Alma, then the breakup, then coming home and just not having that drive to kind of continue. Though I really wanted to, but it was just I went through something that I feel like I can call a burnout. And then the idea of just pushing in those moments became painful somehow. So I'm wondering how it was to kind of be on the inside of that.
I mean, I really want to see you push, so that's something I want to see, but at the same time, I tried to put myself in your shoes as much as I could, and I got, I got more, rough on myself also through exercise as well, trying to see how, how would I be doing, like demanding this much from myself. I don't know how hard it is to do hard things with one's body, and I know how quickly when you drop the ball, everything drops down, and what you've built, you need to rebuild again, and it feels impossible. And as we both age, it feels like every time we drop the ball for a while and we start kind of trying to get strong again, it feels like it's not gonna work this time. It's too late. We've passed the tip. But I realized that actually, fairly quickly things come back, and also what we had built before, it does come back as well. So there's a so there's a there is, I mean, the there is a big message about the unification of the mind and the body, and that demanding a lot from one's body and trying to better oneself is the right path always, and you realize that. The thing is that the carrot or the Damocles sword over you, whatever you want to call what your objective is, might, objectively be unattainable, but unless subjectively you decide to really go there, we'll never know whether it was or if it wasn't, But I mean, I also decided to follow Rahul's, the therapist, version of the story. He kind of took over the narrative, and I could have just painted him as some like good physiotherapist and a two-trick charlatan as well. There's a way to do that, but I decided to paint him as someone who held the fire of truth in front of you, and you were too afraid to grasp it. So that's the story I told, and I think that's what makes the story interesting, because it makes it very apolitical in a way, also, and confronts, like, there's no ideology that is like this. Both lots of lots of compassion, as well as lots of personal accountability, and brutal and demand of hardship from myself. So that's kind of, I don't know if I had that in mind before I made the film. I think I discovered that through making the film, because I didn't really know what shape it was going to take as we went on the adventure. I mean, I think really it happened on the third week in Nepal, when I felt that you could be doing more, even if you were just going to the, obviously you went past your limits again and again and again. And I, as an external observer, still felt that you could make better use of the day. I was surprised that you were still relying on other people to move your limbs, when just before you had moved your limbs on your own. Why isn't he doing it himself? I just saw him move his limb, but like, as if he needs someone to shout at him to do it for him to do it. Why can't he shout at himself? So that was what I thought was a reasonable question that did not really get the answer to in a way. So that's I felt that I might come out as an asshole by doing this film, and just kind of having to put on the surface the fact that you are not as amazing as people project you to be. Which you are in many respects, but like, when it comes to how hardworking you are, I know people are way more psychos and way more hardworking. You work very cleverly, which is a great way to get results. You're clever, you're super clever, but you are relentless in work. No, maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. You have to answer that.
I don't know either. I find that now, when I watch the movie, I see it differently. In the beginning, I saw it as like a movie about me making a huge physical effort,
Mm.
and having some physical improvements. Now, when I think about, I have changed in many ways as a consequence of that period. I feel like
I mean, I can tell like you way more focused than you were before. But when I met you, you were all over the place. And now, in, uh, much better clarity on understanding yourself and your surroundings, and possibilities, and less bullshit also. It's good. I know this, when people talk about the ego, whatever, the ways, how the less we have going on, the more we what is it, all important? There's so many moments of bad decision and laziness, and with it, the creative process or whatever happens. So you did a lot. Could have done way better also. I mean, I don't think the film could be better, but I think I could have lived way better, and I could have had the people around me had better time while I was making. But I'm very grateful for the support I got, and I've paid my debts. Kind of the monetary ones, maybe this, or more karmic debts that are still not clear deal.
Yeah. I do like again to say it again, the truth of your expression of the movie. That I would have felt uncomfortable if you had tried to make me seem like I was doing more than I was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's the difference between like every time, like there's been another film made about which was a portrait, and there's no way, when people are doing portraits or like these kinds of things, hey, can we'll pick a day where you do a lot because people are just being efficient with their filmmaking, so they want to have enough material, and so the only thing they have, so you have lined up a day where it feels like you work a lot and you do a lot, which is never representative of how you actually really are. And so every portrait's are the same. I feel like everybody's some hardworking movement. It's the nature of like all of these kind of quickly made portrait films, that you saw in some of the which are the kind of films that get to the festivals. By kind of following actually Rahul's perspective on you, then we went into a completely different territory. We went to not a flawed representation, but a research. And so that's what kind of maybe made it a more interesting documentary, and also a documentary that's less likely to be made because you lose money on that kind of unless it becomes a big success, which I don't know, maybe it is the first domino. But like the likelihood that it actually generates actual revenues, I don't know, who knows? But it's low at the time, or it feels like it's never gonna happen. But as an object, as a narrative filmic object, it's kind of unique because why would you spend so much time doing something?
Yeah.
But I needed some answers for myself, so that's why I just kind of kept doing it. There were many exits for me to wrap it up.
Yeah, I respect. I think I don't know if we ever talked about this, but one of the reasons why I said yes to you this was because I'd seen you made these amazing virtual reality music videos. You made all these music videos. We contributed to a lot of stuff, but it seemed like you'd never really done like a big project.
No, it's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So like I felt some ways I felt like I was entering a collaboration, an artistic
I
collaboration with you, where like the deal was that you are making a movie about an experience that I am having. Like I think it's funny when I'm called an actor.
yeah, people, but it's also
I
big.
didn't- I
People
was
call
trying not to act.
but that's because we have a plot. The film has a plot. Most documentaries don't have a plot. They're an expose. This one has a plot.
Yeah.
So that's why people see you as a character.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing, because there's no objective. It feels like, and also I relied as little as I could on interviews.
Yeah.
I just like kept filming, trying to capture genuine moment where people weren't like, if not, weren't paying attention to the camera.
Yeah, I've heard people compliment you for the movie for that. The lack of kind of interviews. Why is that? Why is that?
Why I like interviews? Because I ideally I would not have any interview. I just decided that like if I could do the whole thing Verity style, just like be somewhere in the corner, shoot until interesting stuff happens, and then just align the interesting stuff in order and just kind of create some narrative thread, based on the premise that you were going to about to get the video. And so you have some, there's this thing called the hero's journey, the Joseph Campbell thing, and the first step is you have this, someone leaving their comfort zone. There's a guide, and they're looking for something. They get the thing, and they come back home having changed. In your situation, you don't quite get something, but you gain a lot of things, and you come back home having changed. So I had this pattern in mind, and I had noticed that there's lots of truth to it, and it's some pattern you can really just put on your day, on phases of your life, and it does ring really true. So I knew that this template, this would help me to guide the story, So I could always rely on, like, where the fuck am I on the video? And so I had this, and just so my idea was to just kind of get all those moments that do kind of check the cases that people like Joseph Campbell has found on that very wheel, and I did use that quite a bit to figure out where I was in the storyline. And of course, in the middle of the film, I wanted to just kind of go deep, and as much as you allowed me a lot of maybe physical proximity, it did not allow me deep, especially when camera was rolling, but just based on the way you express yourself toward others. You're not a sentimental guy, which is good. And you don't talk as yourself as a psychological creature too much, and so nothing really happened there. I didn't get tears. I didn't get like obvious, breakdown or moment of like legit transcendence or whatever I was looking for. But I kind of went and I found people close to you, mom, your old friends, that just kind of helped me to kind of find those these vulnerable things about your character that you kind of need in the middle of the film. And so these were the moments where I did rely on interview, because for the thing to make sense, I needed to put things on surface level that weren't being said. So I really had to go, and I didn't have them say things, but I fished for things I knew I would be getting. And so, like, for instance, I interviewed a good friend for an hour. He spoke very highly of you. He gave me 30 seconds where he shot on you, and I used that. So yeah, so this is the manipulative nature of working. But I stayed honest. But I needed someone to just kind of talk about young, lazy douchebag branders, so people would stop thinking that you were this genius that got interrupted, by this. That the core idea is that now that you are dealing with a stupid condition, you have to be more, you have to be stronger than you ever were before. And so that's kind of yeah. And I wanted you to see that as well, because I think you needed to see that too, because people had been reprojecting that to you so much, and I kind of saw it wasn't true.
No, that is one of the challenges that I've been going through. I saw all of this as an opportunity to really test myself. How much can I tolerate? How much can I put into it? And it is challenging sometimes when I get compliments too much. Like, I don't know what too much is. I mean, some compliments are good and motivating, but at some point, it's like I don't need to do anything for more validation. That makes sense. But there's one thing I want to, throw out there. I mean, throughout the process, I often felt like you were waiting for me to achieve some kind of enlightenment. I think I did, but it wasn't exactly the one that I was looking for, or maybe the one that you were expecting. And I'm kind of still looking for that enlightenment, that little flick of a switch in my brain, which allows me to focus to the level that I would like on my physical improvements. I think now I had this idea that it's kind of funny that I think your movie is kind of about me trying to achieve that enlightenment, but getting another one instead. So we're focusing on my physical body, but instead of having a breakthrough with my physical body, I had a breakthrough with my mental.
That's clear, and that's how I was able to finish the film. This did happen, and that's why I confronted you with the entire like 8-hour cut of the film, filmed you as you were watching it, for you to kind of see everything that how I saw it, to have all these people close to you talking about you in the third person, just like kind of criticizing you in a way they wouldn't do in your face or even listen credentially. And so you had that, and at the end of this 8-hour shot, you had to confront the high expectations and the projection in time that Rahul made, that you would be back on your feet walking in 8 months, and 2 years plus had passed, and you were still in the chair, although in better shape, but you were still in the chair. And that was the moment you said, "Hey, put the camera on." You gave me this magical interview. Thank God the sun was rolling and everything. I was able to get that genuine moment where you had just kind of taken in the whole thing, and and you were very focused, and you told me, you answered everything, all the question I had for you, and you gave me a clear answer to all that. So you gave that to me as well as a viewer. So I had a way to end the film, and then then as thing went on, the film made you really accountable for whoever sees it, to just keep working and keep figuring stuff out. But then I think Rahul also just realized that the film was going to make him accountable. So he came back to Iceland and decided to work with you. I don't know what the status is of that, but he has a home base now in Iceland, and you guys are supposed to be, figuring stuff out. Give the public a more satisfying conclusion to the film, if you can.
On the other.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Rahul is kind of just waiting for me, and I'm waiting. why, like, it's been funny. A lot of people that have seen the movie always ask me, when is the sequel coming? When is the next one? That's just,
Sequel is now. Sequel is now.
yeah,
It's whatever they post on Instagram.
yeah, I suppose. But no, I don't know. I find it funny that it's so many people just assume that there's going to be another movie.
Yeah, because it's an open end. But I mean, my feeling was because like my life was so interlocked with the film. The film was so interlocked with your life. There's so much things that happened because of the film. It just kind of it felt that this was something too obnoxious. You know, there's Tarkovsky says that filmmaking is time sealed. You know, is so this is a moment in time that we've just made into a very nice kind of object, nice looking thing you can look at through like many directions, or like actually it's pretty linear, but that has high density of information within. And this is it. This is 2019 to 2022 in Branta's life, based on Logi's perspective, and this is what it is, you know. And so like the way of just ending the film and having its open ending is in a way to just like kind of release all of us from this film, which doesn't quite happen since we are here in Serbia presenting it, you know. So we made something, we made some sort of strange time machine that just does pull us back in to some certain period where we did explore a lot of things, but yeah, that moment in our lives when we were making this film together is done. And if yeah,
But having this thought, if there would be another movie, that this one being about the pursuit of a physical improvement but gaining a mental one, I think next movie would be about the opposite, me seeking that spark of enlightenment
that sounds great.
that
Yeah,
I haven't
Go.
haven't managed to achieve.
but like if the thing is, if you were to go to like Duvi Pasano or something, you know, why would you have a camera? You know,
Yeah,
so that's kind of the. But you need to have a very strict protocol. If you were making a documentary about you going away and retracting within, which is what you need to do, because I mean, one thing that I think is lacking from the film that it's is addressed a few times, like all the time visually and a couple of times, you know, with words, is the relationship with technology and the addictive nature of social media. And it is social media, like the internet and whatever filthy shit everybody does on his own on the computer, you know. That this is the like this is the devil we have at first. This is if there's something that's bad, if there's something that's evil, like as opposed to good, it's this. There are like these algorithms that are getting better at stealing yourself from yourself. Yeah. And you if I was remaking the film, I would just like really go all in with that and just kind of talk about Brantur's work during those 3 years, as well as the evolution of the social media algorithms. You know, because what was Brantur doing when he was not exercising or having social life? Scrolling. What was I doing? Scrolling. What was everybody doing? Scrolling. It's fucking bad.
what would you? Let's say there's gonna be a Atomy 2 or something like that. What would you?
I think you're right. I think you should, go and do whatever spiritual exercise you believe would give you the growth or get closer to enlightenment or whatever, or cleanse you feel you need. You know, I mean, there's options are not lacking in this day and age. So I'm not gonna. So I think your heart will tell you what's gonna bring you closest to the truth within, and and then you does this since you at the end of the day, you know, you are a nervous system generating and observing reality. You know, however, you know, the actual model of nature really is. Maybe that would have a dramatic change on your physical being as well. I mean, I think that's that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Should we go eat something?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll grab something to eat.
Yeah.
Maybe keep something.
Alright, so final word.
Like, yeah. Cuties.
Thank you, Serbia. Serbia. Serbia seems to be like we're standing between tanks where we say that, but it feels like it's a more balanced society than the West right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they've got better energy than we have in Iceland. Where in Iceland used to have it 10 years ago. Kind of dropped the ball. Serbia's the shit.
Definitely everybody visits Serbia.
Okay.
So that's
Signing off. 3, 2, 1. I missed that.